Hey ladies and studs and femmes, this is Toy with Love Between Two Women. So my conversation piece today is about communication between two women and temperament. I know I've touched on this in other videos, but I wanted to touch on it again because it's so very important between two women and in a relationship. Communication is with me, is number one. Because without that communication, I don't care how sexy the person is, I don't care how fine or pretty or, kind they are, without good communication, you're just not going to have very much at all. It's not going to be a sustainable relationship. So what makes good communication? A person that can communicate their thoughts in a calm, collected manner, in a respectful manner. What makes a good communicator? To me, someone that constantly is always reading, is always comprehending, is always studying, and it's always communicating with other people, no matter how they're communicating with them, whether it be by way of internet, by way of chatting, texting. I believe voice to voice is very, very, very good. It's becoming so obsolete now with all the texting and everything, and Facebooking and this and that, that it's becoming so obsolete, and it's making communication really, really difficult, and for people to maintain a way of life of communication. Even the language is so broken that another language is being created other than English. Because if you guys know, if you do a lot of texting, I even do a lot of texting myself, but I still write everything out. I mean, you text me and I text you back, I'll text you a whole darn book, because I refuse to use those short, broken you and you are and D and T for don't and all of that. I've received those types of texts, and I've had to ask people what they were saying, so I know it, but it's becoming another language altogether. And but back to what I was saying, in a relationship is key to communicate with each other and talk about things. And I mean, talk about the good, the uncomfortable, what you desire for yourself. What are your goals? How do you plan to attain them and reach them? What kind of obstacles might come in the way that both of you can communicate about and try to help each other to find ways around or over or under your obstacles? If you're having a problem, how are you going to communicate to each other? Are you going to yell back and forth? Are you going to just stop talking to each other altogether? Are you going to walk away for 15 minutes until you cool down? How exactly are you going to deal with your situation? You have to deal with it through communication. Because and for me, I'm a firm believer that if I got to get loud, we're not going to deal with it. We're not going to talk about it right then, because I don't believe that solving an issue or situation is best resolved by yelling and cussing, because that just tries to avoid the initial reason why you're talking in the first place. Whatever the topic is, be it uncomfortable, whatever, you're trying to avoid it. So therefore you go into this big old yelling match, or altercation of some other sort to distract away from the initial conversation. So for me, I don't go through all of that. I'm not going to sit around and argue with anybody, because life is stressful enough. So yeah, but communication is like number one key thing. Some people can't communicate because they don't know words. And why don't they know words? Because half the time they weren't paying attention in school. And So they use wrong words, and then using wrong words, then emotions get all tied up in it. Because they're saying something that they didn't mean to say, but they don't know anything else to say. Why? Because they didn't really pick up too many dictionaries out of school, and sure enough, not in school. So, that makes it hard for them to communicate. So that brings me to another point. How do you begin to communicate? Get good communication skills going on. Pick up some books. Start reading. Even if you don't understand, pick up the dictionary. Start looking up words of inspiration, encouragement, motivation, and get rid of those anger words, because I'm going to tell you something. You can deprogram anything in your life in 7 to 21 days. And if you want a loving, kind, warm, gentle, fulfilling relationship, start communicating and get good communication, and you'll have just what you desire. So I feel like that's enough for now. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please do rate, comment, subscribe. If you have questions that you're not sure about or you want to answer to, please email me at lovebetween2women@gmail.com. That's lovebetween2women@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.